Welcome back to another episode of Deals of the Week. I'm Rachel, and I know it's been a couple of weeks. If you are on our email list, you probably saw an email come in with some of the different deals of the week. We just didn't have a video, but we're back, and we do have some great updates on some of the different deals that we have, along with some new and exciting opportunities that I think a lot of you might like. So if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and hop into it. If you are not seeing this 101 properties on our website, then it is because you are a standard user. Standard users only have access to a certain number of properties, and they are usually properties that have been on our site for a month or longer. So if you're looking to see everything in real time, including apartments, please be sure to look at our premium and exclusive membership options. Those will be able to allow you to see every single deal in real time, including apartments. And then in addition to that, you get discounts on our different acquisition fees. So I'm not going to go too much into it. As you know, you can do your own research. You can always book a call. We'd be more than happy to explain more about it and how it could potentially benefit your business. So going into the first deal, a lot of them are going to be updates, but we have this one in Carrollton, Texas. This is right outside of Dallas. And this property, you wouldn't know it just by looking at it, but the property rent was previously $2,800. After further discussion, the owner has agreed to lower it to $2,350. And mind you, the property is fully furnished. So if we just look here, you can look through some of the different photos. Nice property, stainless steel appliances. Again, like I said, fully furnished. Now, of course, you could always hire an interior designer, someone virtually, for a couple $100 to potentially spruce it up for you, maybe add some extra decor and just ways to make it stand out. But this is a great opportunity for someone that's looking for something around Dallas that is a low rent with a high confidence score on these projections, and it's easy to get into. Now, on top of that, it's furnished. Even if you added some furnishings, you're only paying maybe a couple $1,000 at most to be able to get it up to a certain standard. So home is 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. Again, this rent is basically unbeatable for the fact that it's furnished outside of Dallas. It's available July 15th. That's in a few days. And then, like I said, if you look here, it's right outside of Dallas and overall in a good neighborhood, good location. Deposit, same thing, $2,350. You can see our acquisition fee here. Parking is off street, but I'm almost positive this is just based on the outside photos that I saw, I believe it has a driveway, maybe even a garage. They're open longer than 12 months, air conditioning, no HOA, and washer and dryer hookups. And if you scroll down here to the best part, which is showing you a rent of $2,350, with the additional monthly expenses and a 15% buffer, you're looking at about $66,000 in yearly projections and almost $3,000 in monthly profit. If this is a deal that's of interest to you, please be sure to reach out. We have had quite a bit of interest so far. So like I said, big price drop all the way down from $2,800 to $2,350. Now going into another one, look, we've already added 2 more. It's only been a couple of minutes and we're now at 103 properties instead of 101. We're constantly adding new deals. So this property, we actually promoted it on our Deals of the Week in our newsletter. I don't think it was on video though. And this is in Brandon, Florida. This is right outside of Tampa. It's going for $3,450 just at first glance, but we've already spoken to the representative. They're willing to rent it to an operator for $2,600. They're literally taking $850 off the rent. So projections are almost $80,000. It's fully furnished. This is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath as well. Just looking at the photos, nice, modern, like I said, furnished. Even if you were to add some additional furnishings, it wouldn't be more than a couple $1,000 to really spruce it up. And then as you can see here, the projections. Parking is a driveway. Air conditioning, no HOA, open to a lease option and seller finance. So if you wanted to potentially purchase this home, you might have an opportunity to do so. Outdoor care included, utilities included, washer and dryer included, and Wi-Fi included. Now, the only difference is now that they're willing to do $2,600, your utilities would not be included, and I don't think Wi-Fi would be included either. So let's go ahead and scroll down to the projections area. This is before we even lower the rent. Okay, you're looking at a profit of almost $2,600. But let's say we do the $2,600 with the 15% monthly expense right here. As you can see, that includes utilities and any additional expenses. You can always adjust this as needed. But the yearly projections of almost $80,000, you're now jumping up almost $1,000 a month extra. So $3,568 per month in monthly profit just based on the projections, guys. So this is a huge opportunity. Like I said, they're willing to lower that rent. So if this is something of interest to you, please reach out. We'd be more than happy to assist you with getting connected. And then we have this other property. This one's in Naples. We haven't done a full breakdown on this property. and we haven't promoted it or shared it besides just individuals that can see it on our site. But this one is in Naples, Florida. And if you know Naples, Naples can be a little bit harder to be able to obtain a permit, let alone do STR. So the great thing about this deal is not only does it have a pool and it's in Florida, amazing, but also it is already permitted. So this property already has a short-term rental permit. You don't have to necessarily worry about that. Air conditioning, no HOA, swimming pool like you saw, washer and dryer included. It has a garage and driveway. And if we go through the photos, nice, sleek, modern space. Again, you could always spruce it up, but it is going to come fully furnished, which is nice. Yearly projections are about $69,000. And the rent before, I believe it was $4,200. They just recently lowered it to $4,100, so that's great. 4-bedroom, 2-bath. It's available now. And of course, if you have any questions about it, you can always reach out to us. Just based on these numbers, you're looking at about $1,000 a monthly profit. So even after expenses, you're really making about 25% on your rent, which is not bad. I think that's great for short-term rentals, but everybody's a little bit different. Everyone has different goals. Now, another deal that I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys. We had promoted this on one of our other deals of the week. We didn't have the listing up yet, but we just recently got it locked in. This is a Tampa apartment complex. It is a 6-unit complex, fully furnished. And it has never been available on our site until now. These units have done extremely well over the last few years when they were being ran as short-term and mid-term rentals. But now they are available for individuals to rent and then re-rent out. So I believe it's this one. Yes, it is. So the rent on this is $2,500, 2-bedroom, 1-bath in a great location in Tampa. The units have done historically about $27,000 a month in revenue. So $27,000 a month between 6 units is about $4,500 a month in revenue. So minus the $2,500, before additional expenses, you're profiting about $2,000. So as you can see here, some of the units are a little bit different from each other just in the sense of look, but you can see some of the different photos here of the different units. All of them are in the same building, 6 units. $2,500, 6 units available. They want $5,000 per unit for startup, and that includes first month's rent and the furniture. So you're just going to be paying $2,500 towards the first month of rent, and then $2,500 towards the furniture. You basically own it. But this is a great opportunity for those of you that are looking to get into short-term rentals, but you want something that's a low startup, and it's a reasonable rent, and it's fully furnished turnkey. So you don't really have to worry about buying any additional furniture, furnishing it yourself. On top of that, we've worked with these representatives before. They do not require any type of credit or background checks. So if that's something that's important to you or something that might even be a concern to you, you don't necessarily have to worry about that. But again, this is great for someone that's just getting into short-term rentals, that wants to make a nice profit, get into it for a low startup amount, and also be in a great location. Tampa is a popular market. It's been known to be very consistent year-round. So this would be a great opportunity for someone. You do not have to pick up a minimum number of units. You can pick up 1, 2, all 6, whatever it is you'd like to do. But just know there are 6 units available as of now, and they want $5,000 per unit for startup, which is an absolute steal. You don't find that often. So if this is something that's of interest to you, please be sure to reach out. They're available now, no deposit, as you can see here. Parking is on site. And then one of the best things about that is not only all the other things that I mentioned, but it's also already permitted. Outdoor care is included. Utilities are included. Washer and dryer is included. And Wi-Fi is included. So you're literally getting everything included in this one price of $2,500, and then a low startup along with nice, hefty profits. And sorry guys, with the yearly projections, we accidentally put the monthly. So $4,500 over 12 months is going to be $54,000. So just with the 54 right here, you're looking at a little over $1,500 a month in profit on a $2,500 rent. I mean, it really doesn't get much better than that. So if this is something that's of interest to you, please be sure to reach out to us. Again, great opportunity for someone that's new, even someone that's experienced and looking to scale. Imagine you pick up this entire building yourself. You basically can run it how you'd like. You can do different things to it. You can sign a really long-term lease and then ultimately lock down all 6 units. And then last but not least, I wanted to go into Puerto Rico because we have promoted the Puerto Rico portfolio before. At the beginning, it was only 9 units. Then it became 10, and we have operators that are currently pending for all 10 units. It's a partnership, so they are working to secure all 10 of those. If anything changes, we have a wait list and a list of interest where we will be sure to reach out. However, it's just come to our attention from the representative that they actually have 3 more, and they are willing to rent those 3 as a package deal to another operator. So they're going to be very, very similar to what you see in this deal. The 3 units are in Carrollton, Puerto Rico, which is right next to San Juan. It is in the same building as this one. And all the details are basically the same. So this property right here is $2,100 a month in rent. It already comes fully furnished turnkey. The yearly projections are $40,000. However, the operator has shared with us that each unit that they have is actually going to be making about double whatever the rent is. So instead of it making $39,000 a year, it really is projected to bring in $50,000 a year, so $10,000 more than this. And as you can see, a lot of the information here is the same. We are not going to post the 3 new deals on our site. We already have a lot of interested operators, and we've already sent down email to those who showed interest in Puerto Rico previously. So just know that if you want to know more about these 3 units that are now being added, they are basically identical to Carolina 6165. They're all studios. They're in the same building. They have all the same information. They're currently operating as short-term rental units, and they're generating around 2 to 3 times the monthly rent. So this $2,100, it's making anywhere from about $4,200 to $6,300 a month in revenue. They were selling the total of 9. Like I said, now the partners that had picked up the 9 are picking up 10 total. But like I said, there are 3 more, just like this one, Carolina 6165. All of the units are on the beach, so except for San Juan's 363, which is not this property. So this property is basically right next to the beach. Now I know that some of the photos have illustrations over them, but just you can basically tell how the property looks. Nice bathroom. Like I said, it's fully furnished turnkey. And I believe the operator mentioned that they're actually a little bit more modern than this one. So the additional 3 that they're now offering are more modern than this property right here. And like I said, it's right on the beach. So you can see that right here. Great opportunity. It's in an apartment building. The deposit is the same amount as the rent, and they're looking for about 10 to 20K per unit. This is something that you can discuss further. Air conditioning already permitted for short-term rentals, has a swimming pool in the building, outdoor care is included, and it has an HOA, but they're fine with short-term rentals. So just based on the yearly projections, and let's just say it's making 2 times whatever the rent is, and we don't even account for the 3X, you're literally looking at $1,700 a month in profit on a studio in Puerto Rico. Just a great opportunity. So if this is something that's of interest, like I said, we've already sent out an email. They might already be picked up by now, but this is just us kind of sharing with you the different opportunities. We might have more in the future, but as of right now, we just have 3. They are not allowing individual units to be picked up. It's either 3 or nothing. So if that is something that you can do, something that you're willing to invest, please be sure to reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to assist. But that is the deals of the week. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and we will see you on the next one.